Hey guys, this is Nick with DZ Performance. I am selling off some of my big block Chevys. I didn't build these motors originally to sell. I built them to use as test motors on cam and carburetor spacers. I've been working with Lunati, and they've been moving some numbers around for me. I'm looking for just the right cam street strip applications, and so the motor I'm bringing you today that I'm going to sell is, I call it my 427. It's a 454 block that's bored 30 over. It has a 427 crank and rods, and it's got Keith Black KB 227-30 pistons. What that is a hyper-eutectic piston by Keith Black that has a 27cc dome on it. The cylinder heads are 781s that are, I call them level 1 porting. They're gasket matched. They got a bowl blend or pocket port above the valve seat. They've got a comp cams valve spring on them. The comp cams, I can't recall the spring number. I'll list it in the information at the end of the video. I'll show you the dyno sheet and the cam card on the motor. I'll post them at the end of the video, but right here, here's the cam card. It's a Lunati bootlegger, and it has a duration at 50 thousandths of 224 on the intake and 252 on the exhaust, and the lift is 595 across on both sides, intake and exhaust. And then the horsepower on this motor, it was dyno tested, and it made 542 horsepower and 529 foot-pounds of torque. I tested that with 1,000 CFM Pro Systems carburetor, which I was surprised. I thought a 750 would make as good a horsepower as anything, but it did not. My 1,000 CFM Pro Systems made 9 horsepower more than a 750 brawler. So it must be the bore of the motor, but the horsepower, I really didn't think it would be that hungry for that much carburetor, but it was. Well, on to what the motor is. The combustion chambers, the heads have been slightly milled, so the combustion chambers are 117 cc's with that 27cc dome, and then the block has been slightly deshrouded for the intake valve. With all that, the deck height on it is, it's 22 thousandths in the hole. It's never been decked. Piston is in below deck, 22 thousandths. So that equals up to 9.45 compression, which all the dyno testing and the run videos that you'll see on my YouTube channel are, that's all on 91 pump gas. But as low a compression as this motor is for the size of cam, my experience would tell me you could probably drive this thing easy on 87 octane, race it on 91, you'd be great. But what you get is what you see. I've got a MSD Street Fire distributor. The rockers are stainless steel Summit name brand rockers. The push rods are 80 wall T&D push rods. The head bolts are ARP. The rods are factory. The rods, connecting rods, are factory GM rods. It's been floated to accept a floating pin, and the rods were updated and reconditioned with ARP rod bolts. It has a GM LS6 windage tray, the same style windage tray as they used on the LS6 454s, and that's just a good description of what I've got here. This has been a great little motor. I haven't ran it any more than dyno testing. It's only got 6 pulls on it, so it's barely broke in. But I have more big blocks than I need, and it was easier to assemble numerous motors to test different pistons and strokes and bores with the custom camshafts than it was to keep changing one motor. So, and the description, I'll post the price, and if you drop me a comment and let me know how to get a hold of you if you're interested in the motor, I'll call you back and see if we can't connect. I can deliver the motor anywhere in the Midwest, or you can come pick it up at my shop. This is Nick. Thanks for watching my videos.